Let me get you on camera. Where you from?
California.
No, for real. No, serious though.
Watch, baby.
I know where you from though. Where you from?
Eastside PJ Watts.
I'm from Grace 2 House, nigga.
Right.
They call you, homie?
Big Slice.
Big Slice?
Yes, yes.
All right, nigga. They call me Puto, cuz.
Right.
That person. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Jeter, gratitude is the attitude. Show is a blessing to be back in the black box as we blow us a session on my mama. Shout out to my boy Byron Blake. He's got a great thing going on with his content. Very consistent, very precise, very concise. He goes through it. 1090 Jake has been extremely exposed. He'll be on Whole No 100 Head, Seti Fetty, Silly Seti Fetty Nash. Yeah, he got his core people that he continuously exposed, and I appreciate it. And today, he's speaking on how Whole No 100 exposed for lying on Bricc Baby. I think who else he say? Bricc Baby, and who else? Probably Big U, more likely than not. But you know he always got a lie for you, boy. If he's in the business of anything, it's lying. Whole No 100 exposed for lying about Bricc Baby and Big U Wiretap. Did Big U lead the feds to Bricc Baby? Of course he didn't. Of course not intentionally. I don't know how the feds put their pieces together, who they was watching first. But with no further ado, let's see what Byron Blake says Whole No 100 has been up to.
Now, for the past week or so, maybe a little bit longer, it's been a lot of Bricc Baby content floating around. People saying he telling, people scrutinizing his plea.
I must have missed it.
Agreement. Nobody has shown any paperwork that shows that he is telling, but everybody making videos saying that he telling, which is crazy as hell to me. And y'all saw, if you didn't see though, I dropped a video on it. But for those of y'all that saw my video, I told y'all that I would be covering this topic more, bringing more clarity to this situation. Now, the first thing that we got to do is we got to start with the source of the bad information. Wack100. Wack100 started the whole Bricc Baby, Big U.
Just remember, this who started the information. We can never, ever allow this to.
So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
What the? Motherfucking lie. What? What the heck? Oh my God, no way. I'm just saying, that's where the source is coming from. Just remember, we were never, ever, ever in the juvenile side, the adult side of the county, juvenile hall, prison, never incarcerated together. Didn't meet him till he was a full-grown man, and he announced that I used to fuck on his girlfriend. She from East Coast, but he put her through nursing school, bought her some braces. She look good now. That's when we met on San Vicente at the Death Row building.
Urban that's been going on for the past 4 or 5 years. And he has been intentionally giving y'all inaccurate information. Today, we're going to take a look at some of this information. I'm going to show y'all what Wack said, and then y'all know how we do. I'm going to show y'all what's really going on, but I'm going to show y'all the black and white to support this. And the reason I'm doing this is because I see a lot of people, even some who claim they don't like Wack, still running with a narrative that Wack put out there. And it disgusts me how little investigation these guys actually do on their own. How little these guys, how do you make videos about somebody's case and you're not even keeping up with the case and actually reading the paperwork? But that's another thing. Let's get into this clip so y'all can see how Wack be lying.
Big, you the one got Bricc hot. Big, you and the other nigga, because the other nigga, Bricc do a robbery somewhere else, whatever he do, right? Mm-hmm. Word got to the grapevine, Bricc didn't hit a lick. They get on the phone with this nigga, yeah, we hear Bricc, nigga, just hit a lick. So they go to talking about, okay, Bricc got to come pay up. They ain't got nothing to do with the lick. But because they talking about Bricc hit a lick,
that's the part everybody just seemed to be looking for. Who got hot. Wasn't nobody trying to get nobody hot. Man, them people get on a situation, they peekabooing, they on the inside, you ain't aware. Hey, that's why I'm very careful who I collaborate with, because I ain't trying to walk into nobody else's indictment. So many times I get the situation, feel like I'm missing out, it's kind of late, and bam, BMF is one of them. Oh, my mama. I was with Blue on a daily basis around the time he met Meech. And we was fucking with the big homie Wino from 190, me and Blue. He was the Meech in our life. And at that time, Blue was inviting me and the homie Spade, cuz come with us. This is before it blew up. Had no idea what it was finna do. I used to sell Big Meech weed in Gardena. But you gotta be you. That don't mean so he breaking all this down ain't got nothing to do with nothing. My thing is this. I do anything. Can't nothing near call me about nothing and get nothing. Cause What the hell? Oh my God, no way. Out of all that, that's what catch my ear. Damn.
that would put the people on Bricc.
I can't understand for the life of me why people would sit around and listen to this guy. But that's what they out here doing. And it's really crazy because all you would have to do is do your own independent research and actually go look up the case, the information. Even
that'd be too much like right. But no, that's why we appreciate people like you. Because a lot of us ain't finna do the research, bro.
if you were to go and look at the stuff that Wack just mentioned, because that's what got everybody feathers all ruffled. Everybody is screaming. They was talking about Bricc. Bricc was on a wiretap discussing a robbery, and they said Bricc did a robbery, and he just pleaded guilty. I've stressed 1,000 times that Bricc Baby is not indicted with Big U. He is not on the Big U indictment. Them mentioning Bricc Baby in the overt acts was their way of establishing that Big U is involved in collecting money from robberies that other people do, which they consider to be a form of extortion. But again, let's take a look at the facts. If you look at Big U's indictment and you look at the overt acts that everybody is talking about that Bricc Baby is mentioned in, look at the date of the overt acts. This is the overt acts. This is just a portion.
My camera died, y'all, so I'm gonna just let him take over the screen. I gotta give me a dummy battery. It do not last that long. Oh, blah.
Of them on your screen right here. You know, it starts July 5th, 2021. That's not where it starts, but you know, overt act number 42. Then it goes on and, you know, it lists them in order. But as you can see, overt act number 43 on November 11th, 2022, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley and Big U Enterprise member and self-proclaimed Rolling 60s member Zaire Mitchell, aka Bricc Baby, coordinated how Mitchell would give defendant Henley the proceeds from a robbery that Mitchell committed. See, they trying to demonstrate that Big U was collecting money, not that Big U orchestrated the robbery. On November 11, 2022, in intercepted calls and text message, while defendant Henley talked with Big U Enterprise and associate and defendant Robinson to help defendant Henley collect from Mitchell's associate. They robbed a nigga for some shit. They booked him. Basically, this is the call that Wack is talking about, saying that they were discussing Bricc Baby doing a robbery. This is the stuff that got everybody's feathers ruffled. But you just heard Wack say that the reason the feds got on to Bricc Baby is because they heard Big U on a phone call on November 11th of 2022 discussing a robbery and Bricc hitting the lick and how they was going to collect money from him. Now, let me direct your attention to this next document. If you look at this document right here on your screen, it says the government's silence ended only when it saw an opportunity to pull cases toward this court. On February 25th, 2025, the United States Attorney's Office authored a notice of related case claiming that Mitchell was related to the prior filed Forbes case. The government argued that transfer was necessary because both cases charged firearm offenses arising from the same investigation into the Rolling 60s, and both indictments rely on evidence that ultimately led to a Title III wiretap in case 22 CM 221. And common discovery will be produced. This court consented to the transfer, but the November 2nd, 2022 wiretap challenged by the defense, which includes a target telephone for Mitchell, made no mention of Forbes. Aside from being a part of the same general investigation and takedown, these defendants are no more related than the other defendants of the 9 cases where the government did not file a notice of related case. Now, I want you to pay close attention to this document. I will be bringing this document back as we look further into this Bricc Baby plea situation. This is a very, very important document. But for right now, we're going to focus on exposing Wack one lie at a time. Now, I don't know if y'all caught this while I was saying it, but I'm going to recap everything and then I'm going to break it down for y'all just in case you need me to do that. And we all just heard Wack say that the feds got on the Bricc Baby and Bricc Baby got hot because the feds overheard Big U and somebody else discussing Bricc Baby hitting a lick and them allegedly getting a chop of the money. Now, this alleged conversation was supposed to have happened November 11th.
For him to act like this is something done with a lack of integrity would be for him to assume that Big U was willing to tell on himself for extorting a near, even in a robbery. He didn't know that the phone was hot, obviously, because he would not have been on the phone letting the people know I'm pressing for robbery money. Come on, man.
2022. So Wack is saying that on November 11th, 2022, Big U got Bricc Baby hot. But according to this document, the wiretap was filed November 2nd, 2022. Well, a wiretap, because they filed multiple applications. You got to keep renewing them. But a wiretap was filed November 2nd that included Bricc Baby, which means that they were already on to Bricc Baby. So Wack is giving y'all this false information and making this.
Bricc Baby was literally on the internet in a hotel room every other week in a different state showing bands, insinuating he was getting it out the mud. Then he went on camera and stated, I made $700,000 out the streets last year. If you think the feds ain't focused on that info, you crazy.
Seem as if Big U is the reason that Bricc Baby got wrapped up into this investigation, even though Bricc Baby was already on the wiretap list. He was already involved in the investigation. Wack wants y'all to believe it's Big U's fault because it fits his narrative that Big U was hot and he just was on the phone talking crazy, making everybody else hot on purpose. That's part of his labeling Big U a snitch. You know, that's his narrative he running. Man, he knew he was hot and he was running around talking about everybody, making everybody hot. He got Bricc Baby hot. He said something about Bricc Baby. Next thing you know, the Fed's going to get Bricc Baby. Well, all along, Bricc Baby was already under investigation in a completely different case that was filed before Big U's case. That case got a 24 case number. You see, it said it led to wiretaps in case number 22. So that's 2022. This is 2 years before Big U indictment come out. So Y'all see where I'm going. How could a November 2nd, how could a November 11th wire conversation be the cause of a November 2nd wiretap? Make it make sense. A conversation I had November 11th is the reason that they filed a wiretap 9 days before. Stop it, man. It was a completely separate case that was going on. What it is Wack is trying to conceal the real informant, the real person that really jumped all of this off, because it leads back to him. And we're going to be getting to that. I don't want to flood y'all with too much in one video, but I had to put this video out because so many people comment, and now people DMing me and everything, you know, and I know I go live and y'all like to interact live, but I feel like it's better when I do it like this and I actually put the information up there for y'all to see. The feds had a wiretap application in for Bricc Baby November 2nd, as early as November 2nd, probably earlier, but the earliest that we know of right now is November 2nd. The conversation with Big U happened November 11th. So it's no way possible that that conversation was the reason that Bricc Baby got investigated or brought into the investigation. Because people think that Brick's case is involved, is related to Big U's case, and it's not. Just because you mentioned in somebody's case don't mean that you are actively involved in a case. Like, if you take a plea, it has to be a connection other than, now, if Bricc would have pleaded out to racketeering, conspiracy, anything along those lines, I would 100% be agreeing with y'all. I would 100% be agreeing with y'all, because the factual basis that is required for him to take that plea is what was set it in stone for me. But by him just going in pleading guilty to a gun, that don't require him to admit that he was working for Big U. That don't require him to admit that he robbed somebody and split the money with Big U. None of that. It don't require him to admit that he is a member of the Big U enterprise. It's just a gun, some guns. This is my guns. I had them. That's it. And a lot of people, like, they looking over the legal aspect of it because they getting caught up in the gossip. Wack is putting this false information out there because he want to set the foundation so he can come back and start calling everybody snitches. Now everybody think Brick's plea affects Big U, thinking that the cases are tied together, when the document you just saw said these cases are not related. The cases are not related. Y'all put notice of related cases. We gonna get to that, man. Trust me, we gonna get to that. We gonna get real deep into that. But none of this stuff is what they made it out to be on the internet. Wack is working for the feds. He's intentionally sowing seeds of chaos to keep everybody distracted from what's really going on. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say right now. I'm going to be coming back at y'all with another one of these, and we're going to be breaking down this document and this argument. Not just the document, because it's too much of that niggas just posting one page and trying to make a story around it. We're going to break down the whole argument that's being presented, and I'm going to show y'all the dirt that's being done for real. Like, the real dirt. Not just the shit they accusing them of, but the dirt that's being done to them. With that said, I'm going to wrap this one up, man. Hit that hype button before you get up out of here. Hit that like button before you get up out of here, man. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that YouTube stuff. I appreciate y'all tuning in. It's your boy, Byron Blake. I'm out.
Let me get you on camera. Where you from?
California.
No, for real. You know, I'm serious though.
Watts, baby.
I know where you from though. Where you from?
Eastside PJ Watts.
I'm from Grace 2 Rock, nigga.
Right.
They call you, homie?
Big Slice.
Big Slice?
Yes, yes.
All right, nigga. They call me Puto, cuz.
Right.
You wasn't that hustling. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.